Hi, this is Anna, and in this video we're gonna level up from writing just high in RISC-V. We're gonna be adding few numbers. We're gonna write a simple C program first and then translate line by line into RISC-V assembly code. So let's first just create our add.c program. Let's open it up. And so what we want to do first is we want to include uni.std library so we can use a write system call. Then we want to declare a main. Okay, so let's first define a couple of integers. Let's say 5, and we can save 7 in B, and we want to define the sum for A plus B and save it in sum. Okay, and now we want to define our char buffer, and the size of it should be 3. And 3 is gonna work for any number up to 99. Okay, we're not doing rocket science just yet. Okay, so in a buffer index 0, we want to save our first digit. And here I have Copilot helping me. So we're taking a sum, dividing it by 10, and we adding plus 0 to convert it into ASCII because we want to work with chars and not integers. Now in the buffer index 1, we want to save the remainder from our sum. So we just use a sum and the modular operation by 10, and again we adding plus 0 to convert it into ASCII from the integer. Okay, and at the buffer index 2, we want to save a new line character. Okay, now we are ready to use our write system call to print the result to the terminal. So 1 is going to print it to the terminal, then we using buffer as a second argument, and then we put value 3 to print the entire buffer, and we can just return 0. And now we are ready to compile. So let's just use GCC and then the name of the program, which is add_c.c, and then -o, and the output name would be add_c. Okay, and now let's run it. Add_c. And here we got a value of 2. All right, now what we want to do is we want to create our assembly add_v, and extension for RISC-V would be .s. Let's create a file. Okay, so now we have our C code and assembly code side by side, so we are ready to convert each line into a RISC-V assembly. So let's start with declaring a first section, and the section would be the data section. So the data section is a storage room section that contains global or static data. And this is where we want to keep our buffer. So let's define the buffer. And we want to allocate 3 bytes for our buffer, the same as we did in our C program. All right, and now we can define the next section. The next section would be the text section. So the text section is going to contain all the instructions for our program. And now we are ready to define the global start. Let's say start. And a start is an entry point to where the program begins. Without the global, the linker might not know where to start the program. Okay, now we are ready to use the instructions. Okay, so let's look at our C program first. What we did here is we defined a couple variables and then store their sum into another variable. So in RISC-V, what we want to do is we want to load these numbers into registers and then store them into another register. So if we look at the registers that we can use this temporary registers. You see this T0, T2, and T3 through T6 registers because we are not trying to save any values in there permanently. We don't need to return anything. So let's look at the RISC-V assembler cheat sheet now to see what instructions we might want to use to load those values into the registers. And those values are just an immediate value, and for that we can use this load immediate instruction. That would take the value and load it into a register of our choice. So let's go ahead and use that instructions. Okay, so we can say li t0 to load 5 into 0 first, and then we want to do the same but with value 7. All right, so we loaded 5 and 7 into 0 and T1, and now we need to add them, and for that we need to use the add instruction, but let's still find it in our cheat sheet. So here's arithmetic instructions, and add instruction just takes two registers and adds them in the destination RD register. Okay, so let's use add, and what we want to do is we want to save the value in T2, and we want to add T0 and T1. All right. Okay, so now let's look at our C code. What we're doing here is we dividing the sum by 10 to get the first digit, and then we converting it into a character using ASCII table. We can do it in one line in assembly. We need to do it in several instructions. What we want to do first is we want to divide the sum by 10 to get the first digit. Then we want to use the modular operation with sum to get the second digit, and then we're going to convert it into a character using the ASCII table. So let's first load an immediate value into our next temporary register T3, and we just load 10 in it so we can perform mathematical operations. And then what we want to do is we want to divide sum by 10, and then we want to use this modular operation. So let's look them up together. Okay, so here's arithmetic operations that we can use, and for division we can use divide, and it works like this. We use div, and then this is our destination register, and RS1 divided by RS2. And to find the second digit, which is a remainder, we can use REM, and it works the same way. So RS1 modulus RS2. Okay, let's go back to our code and use division first, and we divide T2 by T3, and we want to save it into T4. So we say T4, T2 divided by T3. And now let's use an instruction to find the remainder, and we can save the value in T5, which is the next temporary register. And we want to use again T2 and T3, right? Because we saved 10 in T3, so we using the value in T2, which is our sum, and using the modular operation with T3. Now what we can do is we can look at the ASCII table to see how we can convert our values into characters. All right, so if we look at our ASCII table here, the decimal 1 associated with the start of the header, and this is the value for it, and decimal 2 associated with the start of text, and this is the value for it, whatever it is. But we want to print 1 and 2, right? So we want to find a decimal value that is associated with value 0 in ASCII table. So if we scroll down, here is the value 0. Okay, so we found this value 0. It's associated with decimal 48, and we want to print 1 and 2. So if we add 48 to 1, we're going to get the value 1 in ASCII. And if we add 2, we're going to add the value 2 in ASCII. So we just want to add an immediate value 48 to those registers. So let's see what instruction we can use. We want to use add I instruction because we add in an immediate value, just an integer. Okay, so now we can use our add I instruction, and we want to add 48 to T4, where we saved our first digit, and we say T4, and add 48 in it. And now what we want to do is we want to use the same instruction but with register T5. All right, so now we have all the ASCII characters ready, and what we want to do now is we want to deal with the buffer and load everything into a buffer. So first we want to load an address of this buffer into the register. Let's check out the registers that we can use. Okay, and here we can't use a temporary registers anymore because we're gonna be using a buffer for our write system call. So we need to use this A0, A1, A2, A7 function arguments registers. We also want to look at the instruction to load the address into the register, and to load the address we can just use this LA load symbol address instruction. So let's use LA instruction and load our buffer into register A1, for example. All right, so now we saving our buffer at the register A1, and our buffer has 3 spaces reserved, right? So if we, for example, and this is just a comment, look at the register A1, we want to have values 1, 2, and then a new line character, and it would be at the offset 0, 1, and 2. So what we want to do is we want to put a single byte into a memory specific address. So let's look at the instruction for a store byte. So here we want to use this store byte instruction, and here is how we can use it. So immediate value would be for our offset, and RS1 is gonna be our register where we save the buffer, and then RS2 is gonna be the register from where we want to take the value. So let's use this instruction. So we just say as B, and then we want to take a value from register T4. This is the first digit, T4, and we use offset of 0 and the register A1. This is where we saved our buffer in. Okay, and we want to do the same with register T5, but we want to use offset 1 for T5 because we want to store our remainder, and we want to store it in the same register A1 but different byte. And now we want to store a new line at the offset 2, but the new line we need to use a ASCII table, and if we look for a new line here, here's a line feed associated with decimal 10. So we can just load first immediate value into our next temporary register. So the last one was T5. So we use T6 and we load 10 in it. And now we can use again ASCII instruction to load this new line character from T6 into the offset register A1. Okay, so now we have all this buffer register situated. We can use a write system call. Write system call has 3 parameters, so we're gonna have to load each parameter into a register. Then to load the write syscall number into another register and execute the system call. So let's first load an immediate value into register. We already used A1, so let's load it in A0, and we can load 1 into A0, right? So this is our first parameter. Now we can load the buffer, and to load the buffer we need to use this LA instruction. So let's use LA A1 and buffer. So here we reload the buffer to make sure that the write system call sees the correct address, and now we can load 3 for the size of our buffer, and 3 is just a number, so we use LI with the register A2, which is the next argument register, and we put 3 in it, and now we can use a write system call. So let's see the number for the write system call. So write is associated with 64, so we can again use a line instruction because 64 is just an immediate value, and we use register A7, which is the last A register with the system call, and load 64 in it. And now we're ready to transfer control to the OS, so let's find an instruction that will transfer the control. And here, environmental call, miscellaneous instruction. So environmental call OS function. So this should transfer the control to the OS to execute the system call. So we just say ecall. And finally, we can write the return 0. So let's first load 0 in A0, which is argument register, and we can now use a line instruction with A7 again to execute exit system call, but we need to find the exit system call number first. So let's find it, exit here. So exit system call associated with number 93, so we use 93, and ecall instruction again. So let's save it. Now let's go ahead and run our program. So what we want to do first is we want to assemble our code into a machine code. We just say RISC-V64 unknown elf-s, and then we want to name our output add_, and the name of the program is add_v.s. Now we want to link an object into runnable executable, so we use almost the same command but with ld. And first we want to have the name that we will run, and then .o. Okay, let's link the object. No such file or directory. Oh, I see, I used add s instead, so let's do this, and now we can run our program, add s, and here here we have 12 as the output. And just like this, we added 2 numbers in C and converted each line into a RISC 5 assembly code. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you want me to cover more instructions. If you want to support me on Patreon, I have a link to Patreon in my bio. And I also have a link to Buy Me a Coffee website if you don't want me to run out of coffee, which happens sometimes. Here we have a new addition. Here's a new computer engineer growing. Say hi to Penelope.